Goal one was maintain my boundaries. Learning goal number two was understanding why I don't like bodies. And my learning goal number three was what is next. With my learning goal number one, maintaining boundaries, the goal was to deal with time management, and time management would help me to reach this goal. And to build relationships and deal with self-care, and I believe that I have reached that because I have come up with the new realization that I am only my best self if I'm healthy, and that's emotionally, physically, and spiritually. And so maintaining boundaries is very important, and I'm thankful that I set that as a goal, and I was able to observe myself and to make behavior changes, and this is what that goal has done for me. A learning goal number two, understanding why I don't like bodies. At first, I thought the reason why I didn't like bodies were because of death, but my understanding of death is once the spirit is gone, the body is no longer important. And I think that's healthy, but I still have issues with bodies. And my conclusion was it was how I viewed my own body and how I dealt with myself in a sense. And because I was looking at myself through the lenses of the negativity that was told to me, you fat, you ugly, and nobody will ever like you, I saw myself that way, and so I viewed other people's bodies in the same sense. And so that's why I didn't care about hugs and being touched and stuff like that. And so with this learning goal, I was able to identify why I was having issues with bodies. And so, not saying that I am numb to being in around dead bodies or being in the morgue, for instance, but however, I am more appreciative of the dying process, and I'm able to identify where I am because I have observed myself and trying to challenge myself to understand why I feel the way I feel or operate the way I operate. And so this is what this learning goal has done for me. All right, learning goal number three. What is next? Throughout this program, I have toured with the idea of doing residency. I have toured with the idea of continuing or stopping my ordination process through the United Methodist Church. I have toyed with the idea of just saying, forget this religious stuff and just do Poetry Girl Incorporated, which is digital media. And then I was trying to figure out how to do digital media and theology. Trying to mesh the things that I'm most passionate about. And so the conclusion of what is next is that I'm going to continue to pursue ordination. And turn in all the paperwork, go to all the interviews, and what happens. I have plan A to Z, and I'm focusing on A, but I'm not a put all your eggs in one basket type of person. And so in 5-6 years, I might still do residency. It just depends on where God has me. And I enjoy CPE, and I look up to CG. I look up CG because as an educator, because I am a person who enjoyed developing people or helping people to realize their potential. Because when I was growing up, people act like I didn't have potential, and everyone has potential. And so that part of CPE, I am curious about. Becoming an educator in a sense, but we'll see what the future has for me. As of right now, no more CPE. Grace for me is my basis, is my theology, is everything that I stand on. And the example that I always give is my name. My name is Mashakati McKenzie. And I understand that people do not like the challenge of African Americans people names. And so I give people grace of saying Mackenzie. Mackenzie is more of a European name, and people are more drawn to it. And so I make it easier for people. But if anybody ever want to build a relationship with me, they know that I appreciate my name. But grace, in that sense, is to find ways of compromising and allowing people to be themselves and to grow into the relationship that needs to be built. And so my ministry is founded in grace. Three 11.2. It says identify and discuss major life events, relationships, social, location, culture, things that have impacted my life. And so I have two. And the two major things that has happened during CPE, which has been life changing for me, which at first I felt as though it was a setback, and it was being back on antidepressants and going to see a therapist. I thought that was a setback, but realizing that if I'm going to be me and be my best self, I need to get the brain under control. Knowing that I already have a learning disability called dyslexia, and that's a brain issue as well. So faulty wirings in my brain messes with my vision to be able to see letters the way they are, at least the way we write them. And so that's a challenge. And so I learned that just because I have a disability doesn't mean that I have to stop and I can't compete and I can't go higher in education. I just have to find another way. And with my depression, and with the anxiety and with the panic attacks or whatever, I learned if I'm back on medicine, I can operate as me. I can be my best self. And I'm dealing with the shame that comes behind it, and the shame is mostly me, not no one in my life, because I didn't share that part of my life. But I'm appreciative of where I am, and I'm thankful that it was caught in this way, instead of I'm out in ministry trying to minister and I break down and have an episode. So I'm thankful in that way. My second experience that was life-changing experience for me is realizing why I don't like bodies and getting rid of toxic people in my life. I was holding on to people, places, and old circumstances, thinking that they will be able to go in my future, and realizing that they can't. And just listening to some of the didactics and figuring out who I am and learning my energy and what gives me energy and my love language and stuff like that, and just being present with people, I have learned more about myself and those things, because now I'm becoming my own patient and taking care of self in that sense, where I'm present with self. After a session with CG, she pointed out that I seemed more excited than anything about preaching, about being with the parish. And in this particular conversation, I was describing to CG my weekend where I have preached for my nephew's baptism. And I was super excited. I still get emotional about it because it was my first baptism. And it was my nephew, my baby nephew, baptism, and it was just amazing to me. And that's when I start realizing that I still have a love for the local church, and I have a love for the tradition of the local church, and the tradition of religion in general. And so I start contemplating and start viewing where my energy is and how my energy is infecting, or how it plays a part of my decision making and how much energy I'm able to give to something. And in this time in my life, I've put a lot of time in becoming ordained as a United Methodist pastor, and I have to see it through. I don't know if it's going to work out. I don't know if the denomination is going to accept all of me. And the only way I'm going to go over there is accept all. But I don't know, but I am diligent to the process, and so this is the process, and so I'm going forward in this matter. And if it doesn't work out, I have plan B through Z that I can jump on, because I don't put all my eggs in one basket, even though I am faithful with plan A. And so with this outcome, and just having a conversation with CG, I was able to process where I want to be and where I want to go and how am I going to get there and why I want to get there. And I appreciate this process because it has opened my eyes to who I am, and not just the negative things that I've always seen, the dyslexia, the blackness, the womanness. I'm more than those things, even though those things are a part of who I am. They're just not the all that I am. I have used what CG and I have talked about in our one-on-one sessions outside of CPE, and it has challenged me to look deeper in myself and to trust myself and my instincts. So, with the risks that I have took with trying to, if a door is closed, not to be afraid to go open the door. And before CPE, I was kind of timid. When I see the door closed, I usually don't go through it. But because of this program, I'm able to challenge myself to go through it, even though it might be closed, but it might not be locked, to at least attempt. Giving feedback to my classmates or my peers, and receiving it has challenged me to continue to listen and continue to grow. And I think is a great piece of the program that I'm hoping that I'm able to implement or copy when in my ministries, with working with my teams, working with my parishioners, working with people in general, of how to give adequate critique to people and still grow and move along. Yeah. 311.5. For me, the group dynamic is amazing. Being that we are so diverse, I appreciate the differenceness. I appreciate the different point of views. I appreciate the just the character that we have came to design in this group. Being that we are so different, that each of us was authentic enough that we can bring our true selves to the table, and challenge each other in a respectful way, in a challenging way, and I appreciate it. So for me, the group dynamic is amazing, and I will hands down that you guys pulled a lot out of me that I didn't see and I didn't know that was there. And so I'm appreciated. I appreciate you for being able to see through me, or be able to stick a fork in it, in a sense that I'm still here and I am able to move through into the next place. And so I'm appreciative of this group, and I believe that the relationships are life changing, and I believe the relationships are going to be ongoing, and I believe that we can we can make a difference. And CPE is only the beginning for us. 311.6, the thing that has stuck out mostly for me is staying present and identify things that's in the room, to stay in the room with the patient, and as also in group IPRs and conversation where you identify what's going on with you, and then you engage someone else on your curiosity with patients. For me, because I love TV. I will talk about whatever's on TV. If I don't know the show, I try to spark up a conversation about what's on TV, or even if the TV is off, I talk about the TV, trying to stay present in the room and try to break the ice, and so that we can build a relationship. And usually it worked, and sometimes people don't want to talk about TV. They want to strictly talk about God, and that's fine. But for me, staying present in the moment has impacted me a lot, and I appreciate the curriculum in that way. That being present is very important. 311.7. In my quiet place at St. Joseph, when I am trying to wipe off some of the things that have been said and things that I've seen at the hospital, have been one of my most interesting times ever. Not only because I know that I'm dealing with some stuff and some stuff is coming out of me, but the people that come up to me. I've helped people find their doctor's appointment. I've had doctors and nurses that just need someone to listen to them. I've just, all kinds of different things has happened, and those are the two that sticks out right now. At St. Joseph, the population of people is very diverse. Where I have met with Catholic patients, I've met with Muslim patients, I met with African Americans, Caucasian American, Latino American, gay, straight. It has not been just one of anything, and I appreciate that experience. Just like my group is diverse, the experience at St. Joseph have been just as impactful and diverse in the same way, and it's good to see women that has some type of power and able to function in as a chaplain or as an educator. And so for me, seeing the diversity in that way has sparked a interest for me. And so diversity in this setting is really good and really awesome. 311.8. Clinical methods of learning. The one that that I'll probably will continue is the process notes. I've learning writing is a part of my healing. I used to hate writing because I'm dyslexic, and I used to have issues. Still have issues with spelling, but I'm not running away from it because I have the issue. I'm embracing those differences about me, and writing anyway, because with the process note, it helps me to deal with the pains that's up under, and I try to hide from the world. And so I will keep the process notes, and I appreciate having a writing component in the learning outcomes. Because I have a learning disability, I am clear that those growing edges will not stop me from competing and moving forward to the next levels. But I will always make provisions and advocate for myself so that I can compete in academic situations or ministry or religion situations. And I will always be an advocate for those with a disability, but however, especially those with learning disabilities, because sometimes when you can't see the disability, it is overlooked. But just because you don't see it doesn't mean it's not there. So I'm a big advocate in that way, and I will be an advocate moving forward so that people can be inclusive of those with learning disabilities. Jay, thank you for allowing me to be a part of your story this 16 weeks this semester. It has been a pleasure of listening to you, getting to know you, praying for you on the sideline. Um, I have also enjoyed the connections that we have made, from family to mental health to dreams and aspirations. I have appreciated the push that you've given me that you might not even know that you've done, but I appreciate you. I pray in this season that it has taught you that you can be your best self as you are today. And all of us have growing edges, and but our growing edges shouldn't stop us from living our best life. So I pray that you saw that you can live your best life, and that you would continue to live your best life. I pray the best for you. I pray that you will continue to share your story, that you will continue to challenge yourself. I believe you also have the gift of healing with through your words. So someone is waiting for you to share your story. And I pray one day you will be bold enough to do that. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of your story. Thank you. Hi, Don. So a couple of weeks ago, in one of our IPRs, or maybe that I intentionally asked you, did you ever expect us to have so many things in common? And you respond, no. And I must say the same thing. I did not expect us to have our playing fields are so similar, or our life experiences are so similar. And for me, it helps me to be clear going into pastoral ministry and having a parish that might not look like me, that might not think like me, that might not grow up or appear to grow up the same way I grew up, but realize that there's commonality throughout all of us. And I appreciate you sharing your story. I appreciate you connecting the stories when I share. I appreciate that because it will always impact me. It will always be a part of my moving forward. That Calvin Don, inspired me to continue to be as authentic as I am, because someone out there can connect to my story. So Don, I appreciate you, and I sit with you with your journey moving forward. And I hope things go well for you. And I hope that this sacrifice wasn't in vain, that you will get the things of your heart and the things that you desire to have, and grace and mercy upon you. Thank you for being a part of my story. Man, it has been a pleasure to be a part of your story. You amaze me. um, you also make me look at me. I feel like sometimes talking to you is a reflection in a sense. I'm encouraging you and hoping that you will be able to see yourself the way others see you in a positive light. And I pray that you see yourself as this phenomenal leader as you try to see in me. That we kind of transfer and we see our reflection in each other. And I hope and I pray that you'll be able to walk in your authentic self. That culture won't stop you from living your best life. And I'm saying that at the same time, saying that to myself. that some culture things can be a hindrance and some culture things can be a positive. And I pray that we can take the positive of our cultures and be our best self and max out at our best self so that we can be the best that God has called us to be. So Ellen, I pray for you, and I pray that this journey that God has you on will be a journey of healing, prosperity, and growth. And sis, I hope the best for you, and thank you for being a part of my story. First encounter was at orientation when I sat directly behind you, and I came in late, kind of my theme, right? I came in late, and they didn't have any more materials for me. But you was kind enough to share your book with me, and that's how you have been to me this whole process. That you have been kind enough to share your life with me, to be open. I was so broken at one point or another during this process, and because I was brave enough to bring it to the group, and because you are who you were, it freed me. You have no idea how much that means to me. I hope and pray that you continue to be who you are and continue to be a life changer and continue to love yourself and the people that God placed in your life and all the brokenness that you might feel or you might go through. I pray that God wraps arms around you and love on you. And I hope you're able to feel God's presence. I pray that our friendship can continue to grow. I pray that things will move forward in our ministries, in your ministry, with your family, with your wife, with things to come. You are a trooper, and I appreciate you. Young, man, when I think about you, I think about a still, soft voice. You are very bright and wise, and I appreciate that wisdom. But I want to encourage you to take your wisdom and be bold in it. Every time you have spoke in group or even outside of group, you have impacted my life. If it's just in a question or in an observation, you have impacted my life. And I don't want other people to miss out on you. I want other people to experience you the way we have experienced you in this group. I want you to be able to be your best self, even though you are your best self today. But I want you to continue to be and grow. We all are becoming, and I believe your becoming is yet to come. I want others to experience you because I feel the love that you have shared. And I believe that love can be life changing for someone out there who is broken, someone who is dealing with sadness, someone who is longing for a best friend, a good friend, a genuine friend, with your still soft voice and your still soft touch. Someone needs you. So I pray that you will be bolden or be bold enough to share yourself with the world. Thank you for being a friend. CG. Wow. Like I said in two groups at least, that I was mad with Donovan for not letting me know that he was not going to be my educator. But I must say that this has been the biggest surprise ever. That I have grown to appreciate our relationship as you being my educator. I believe that it's come down to the fact that you are a female, and you are bold and you are walking as an Asian woman, not trying to be anybody else but yourself. And I appreciate that. As an African American woman, I appreciate it even the more with coming in, struggling with who should I be and should I continue to be me when the world is telling me to be somebody different. And I got the opportunity to sit at your feet and for you to bring culture, allow me to bring culture into the group, and you didn't judge me. You actually was pulling more out of me that I didn't know that was there. So I appreciate you in that way. I look up to you and I hope to be able to follow you on social media or somehow I hope that we stay connected because you have been a big influence in my life. And I believe that you're going to continue to influence more pastors or chaplains or anybody who's going to be influence of other people. And I believe you're good at what you're doing. And I just pray and I pray and I pray that you will allow God to continue to use your story, your many selves. I hope that you continue to bring those many selves out in group and to impact people as they move forward. Man, CG, you have been a great educator, and they say that with this program, that educators can make or break you. You made me, and I appreciate you. Thank you. In a place like this, for me, I have learned that it has hit soft spots that I thought was healed. It has impacted my mental, physical, and spiritual being in a way that I did not exact see coming. Even ITC prepared us for CPE. I still didn't see the transformation that I was going to go through. And so this song is titled Soon and Very Soon We Won't Have Any More Crying Days. And we're going to eventually see the King. And when I think about this song, I think about the people who passed that I've had to be with, to walk with, that they're no longer hurting, that they are going through, and that they are in a better place, and I hope that's where they are. And that's what my theology says. I hope that soon and very soon that each of us will be done with this program. Now we in the same sense that some of the patients that I had to see pass away and pray with their loved ones, we died of old self, and we have entered into a new being. If that's a good being, bad being, we are new for this experience. And so it's not soon and very soon, it's today, it's right now that we are who we have become. And I hope that each of us become the person that God has called us to be. And soon and very soon, the pains of our lives won't hold us down from doing what God has called us to do. And so this song it is in my soul. Soon and very soon, each of us will see what God has for us. Hallelujah. Thank you.